Okay, so we are going to start out in a child's pose today, if that's a comfortable pose for you. You're going to take the big toes together and the knees about mat width apart. And you're just going to crawl forward on your hands until you can lay your forehead on the ground. Alternatively, you can keep the knees and the big toes together with the forehead on the ground. You can leave the hands stretched out forward, or you can take the hands down by the feet and let them rest at either side. And just completely let go of the shoulders here. Starting here, just notice how your body feels, where you're feeling tension today, whether that's in the shoulders, the hip flexors, back of the neck, maybe you're clenching in the jaw, and without trying to change any of the things that you notice at first. It doesn't have to be emotional. Just notice, like on a mental level, just notice where you're feeling certain things in your body. And then you're going to take one long, slow, deep inhale through the nose. Hold the breath at the top and exhale out through the mouth, sigh. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. Deep breath in through the nose. Holding it at the top, and then exhaling out through the mouth. One more, inhaling. And exhaling. Begin to feel maybe the muscles of the back softening. Maybe the heart melting towards the ground. Feeling heavy, feeling relaxed, like a stone sinking in water. Sending deep breaths down into the low belly and exhaling softly to deflate. We'll slowly crawl forward until we're laying on the belly. And just rest one cheek on the ground and let the arms lay down at either side. Hands next to your hips, palms facing towards the ceiling. Just breathe in here. This should be a gentle neck stretch, actually, just keeping one ear to the ground as you lay on your belly. And exhaling here. See if you can release through the low back. Notice if you're holding through your quads or your knees. And then we'll switch the ear. So the opposite ear comes to the ground. We look in the opposite direction. We take another breath in here. Exhaling. Relaxing through the shoulders. Great. And then we're going to take the arms out to a T, palms on the ground. We're going to take the opposite ear to the ground once again. So let's just say we're looking towards the right. We're looking towards the right hand right now. Both hands are stretched out in a T. We'll slowly bring that right hand in towards the shoulder while leaving the left hand where it is, stretched out on the ground. And on an inhale, keeping that left shoulder glued to the ground, we'll inhale and press through that right hand to just lift the corner of the right chest off the ground, just peeling that right upper body off the ground. Continue to press through that right hand until you feel a stretch in the left shoulder. You can press all the way up onto your left hip if you want to, stacking the right foot on top of the left, if that feels good. But making sure to stay really grounded through the left shoulder and the left hand, pressing into the ground with the whole length of the left arm. Breathing in. You could even take the right foot to the ground behind the left knee. Inhaling and exhaling, moving back through center. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side, taking the right hand out towards the right, walking the left hand in close to the left shoulder, keeping the right ear on the ground, and on an inhale, pressing through the left hand, we'll peel the left chest off the ground, keeping the right shoulder grounded. Maybe you stack both feet so that we're just balancing on the right hip and the right shoulder and the right foot. Or maybe you take that left foot and take the sole of the left foot or the big toe of the left foot and touch the ground behind the right knee. Should be a deep stretch in the right shoulder. Breathe into this. Taking really deep breaths can help make this a deeper stretch. And we'll slowly come back to the center. Take both hands beneath the shoulders and inhale, press up into cobra. You can also take the forearms and keep them on the ground and just take Sphinx. But just take your first little back bend of the day. Breathe into the heart, exhale, chest comes back to the ground. And we swim the hands to either side behind us. See if you can lift the feet off the ground as well, squeezing the feet together. Inhale, lift the chest off the ground for a locust pose variation. So only thing on the ground is your belly right now, using your back muscles. Inhale, exhale, come back down to the ground. Inhale, come into a cobra pose. Both hands pressing into the ground directly below the shoulders. Inhale, stretch through that front body. Imagine you have a long puppy belly. Inhale and exhale, come to the ground. We flow, taking our hands behind us once again, picking up the feet off the ground and peeling the chest off the ground. Activating through the glutes here. Inhaling. Exhaling, coming back down to the ground. Inhaling, coming back into our cobra. Maybe you noticed you're going a little deeper into the cobra here. Really staying active in the glutes. Inhale, pressing the shoulders together and down the back. And exhale, coming back down to the ground. Take the hands behind you. Maybe you even clasp the hands this time and peel your chest off the ground. Pull the feet up away from the ground. Activating through the back. Staying soft through the neck. Gazing at the ground. Inhale here. And exhale, coming back down to the ground. Only one more round of this. Inhale, come into your cobra. Maybe your elbows are almost totally straight now, or maybe they're still super bent. Go at your own pace. Breathing in, exhale, coming back to the earth and taking the hands behind us. Maybe interlacing them again here. Press the feet together like we're holding a magazine in between our feet. And then peel the chest off the ground, pull the feet off the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the earth. Inhale for one final cobra. And exhale. Just come to sit on the knees. Take the hands on top of the thighs. And alternatively, if this is too hard on your knees, you can always take an easy seated pose. Wherever you are, go ahead and use the heels or the knuckles of the hands to just massage the tops of the thigh muscles a couple times. Might feel a little weird, might feel kind of good. And then we're going to interlace the hands together, bring them on top of the belly. And we're going to draw a couple circles in one way, just a gentle abdominal massage here. Just pressing the fingers into the belly, drawing circles in one direction. Breathing in, feeling the warming sensation that this creates. And then we'll interlace the fingers with the opposite hand beneath this time and draw circles in the opposite direction. Just massaging the belly, stimulating digestion. Again, you can do this if you're just in an easy cross-legged seat, We'll take the right fingertips to the ground on the outside of the right leg. We'll inhale, take the left arm up and over, side stretch. See if you can keep your body long and graceful here, keeping that left shoulder away from the left ear. So we're not crunching the shoulder up towards the ear. We're trying to stay pretty intentional with how we move. We will exhale, take the left hand to the left side and inhale, take the right arm up and over. Breathe into this body here. Come back to center. And then we're going to take the hands shoulder width apart on the ground, spread the fingertips. We're going to walk the knees back so that they're directly beneath the hips. We're going to walk the hands forward, a hand print. And then we're going to inhale up into our first down dog of the day. Just pause here, pedal into your dog if you want to. If this is really hard on your wrists, feel free to take dolphin pose, so just taking your elbows to the ground. That's actually a little more challenging, I think. Pedaling through the feet. Get a couple good foot stretches in there. And then we'll inhale, take the right leg up. Bend the right knee. And then bring that right knee as high up towards the sky as you can, opening through that right hip. Inhaling, exhaling. And then we're going to look towards the front of the mat and slowly come forward into a plank pose with the knee between the arms, hugging into the chest. See if you can hold this for 3, 2, 1, and we'll take the foot down. Just take a normal plank. Inhale here and exhale, press back into a down dog or your dolphin pose. You'll inhale and take the left foot up behind you this time. Bend the left knee and then stretch that left knee as high up towards the ceiling as you can, pressing through those hands. Elbow creases shining forward, holding this, breathing into the hip stretch, and then look forwards towards the top of your mat. Move forwards into a plank pose, pulling that left knee into the chest and hugging it into the chest for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet come down to the ground, pressing back into our down dog. Inhale here. And then on our next exhale, we're going to just step that right foot up between the hands as gracefully as we can. And come into a low lunge. So you can have the knee on the ground with the knee hovering here. Inhale here, keeping the back nice and flat. You can have the hands on blocks here if you want. But just feel the stretch in the top of the left thigh. You can sway from side to side a couple times here. Breathing into the belly. And then maybe you shorten your stance a little bit to find some stability. Really imagine pulling the feet towards each other in space. And on an inhale, see if you can come up into a high lunge. Inhaling here, feeling strong. Keeping a nice, flat, straight spine like your royalty. Imagine you have a very heavy crown on your head that you can't let fall. So keep your posture really good here. Allow the heat to burn in the legs for 3, 2, and 1. Take the hands to heart center and see if you can come onto the right foot and just step the left foot up to the front of the mat, but don't touch it down to the ground. Just hover it in space. So if you want to try that again, you're coming from a low lunge, and on an inhale, you're tipping forward and seeing if you can just take that left foot up and into the chest in one fluid motion. And then you'll step the left foot down. From here, we're going to do a little balance play. So take the left foot up. You can tuck it onto the sole of the left foot, onto the inner thigh of the right leg, or maybe the inner calf. So we're just gonna play with little tree pose here. Or if your balance is really not there today, maybe you can start with the left toes on the ground. So find your way to a tree pose and just hold this here. Find a spot on the ground and just anchor your gaze to it. Focus on it. Balance is a really great way to build focus. Really pay attention to the tiny little micro adjustments you're making in your right foot automatically to just help you stay balanced. Holding this for 3, 2, and 1. We'll slowly step that left foot down to the ground. Shake out the right leg, shake out the left leg, shake out the wrists, shake out the upper body. Just do some shaking here. Then we're going to take the arms out to a T. We're going to flex the hands as if we're in a hallway. It's exactly as wide as our arm span, and we're pressing the palms into the walls of this hallway. Get really grounded through the feet so feet are hip width apart. Inhale here. Exhale, push against these imaginary walls. Inhale. Push against the imaginary walls. Imagine that these walls are like a symbol for all of your commitments you have to do, and you're pushing them apart so that you can take this little time for yourself in the day. Taking deep breaths, holding this here. This is a pose that might feel very simple and easy at first, but as you hold it, you begin to feel maybe pins and needles in your palms. Maybe you start to feel your arms getting tired. Just continue to hold this, and if you want to, you can add a little circle into it. So just this tiny little circle from your shoulders, the hands. Fingers are still flexed. Maybe you reverse the circle here. Maybe you're still holding the arms out to either side. Hopefully you're starting to feel a burn here. We're gonna hold wherever you are for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Allow the arms to drop to either side. Shake out the arms. And then on an inhale, we're going to give ourselves a big bear hug. So walking those fingertips in towards the spine. Inhale, take the shoulders up close to the ears, squeeze yourself. And exhale, sigh it out. Drop the hands. Great. We're going to inhale, take the arms up, look up towards the hands, and maybe take a little bit of a back bend, remembering that cobra from the beginning of practice. And then we'll exhale, take a forward fold, keeping the knees super bent. Maybe you just staying low here for a second, letting go of the head, shaking the head yes and no, keeping the weight leaning towards the toes. Sending breath deep into the belly here. You can slowly straighten the legs with time to get a deeper hamstring stretch. And then you can bend the knees super deeply and just walk the hands forward until you come into a downward dog once again. Great. We'll inhale, take the right leg up. Exhale, bend the right knee, pull the right knee into the chest and come into a plank, holding that right knee in between the arms up close to the chest for 3, 2, 1. Let the right foot come back down to the ground. Inhale, press back into our down dog. Take the left leg up and pull the left knee into the chest, coming into a plank pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can just go ahead and step that left foot up between the hands. Come into a low lunge here. Rock a bit from side to side, feeling the stretch. You can always start out with your right knee on the ground, keeping a nice straight spine, and remembering to keep the front ankle directly beneath the front knee. Or the front knee can be a little behind the ankle, but we don't want that knee going in front of the ankle. Maybe crawling back onto the toes here. Maybe shortening the stance a bit if you feel you need to for stability's sake. And then on an inhale, we'll come up into our lunge. Had to remember the name of the pose for a second. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Hands nice and reaching up towards the sky. Imagine that you were having that big crown placed on your head here. Maybe imagine what that crown looks like or what it symbolizes. Continue pulling the feet towards each other in space. We're going to hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll take the hands to heart center in prayer. Look in front of us and slowly tip forward and see if we can balance practice. Take that right knee up towards the chest without ever letting the right foot touch the ground. And if you touch the ground with your right foot, that's okay. Great, and this time we're going to take the right foot into the left leg. So find your tree pose, whether that's above the knee or below the knee, or with the toes on the ground. We'll take the hands to heart center. And if your balance is all over the place and you're just falling, try to practice, see it as an opportunity to practice self-compassion here. Nobody has the perfect balanced day every day of their life. Otherwise, it would be a robot. So find a spot on the ground to anchor your gaze to. And really focus on your core this time. So notice the micro adjustments in the left foot and really notice your core too. And if you want to try the challenge of this pose, maybe you take the hands out to either side. Imagine you're once again in this hallway. Press the arms out to either side. And if this is okay, maybe you try to draw those little circles with the arms. If this is just throwing your balance off way too much, feel free to come out of the tree pose and come back into where we were the first time we tried this arm circle situation. But if you're finding that it's a fun challenge, go ahead and do it. Continue the circles. Really feel the circles in your shoulder blades. Notice all the tiny little motions that all these different muscles have to do to keep you doing this in space. Go ahead and reverse the direction of the circles here. Notice how the circles feel on the muscles of your fingers. Is it like a pull on one of your fingers? Is it a stretch? Notice where you begin to feel the heat building. Is it in the front of the bicep? Is it in the front of the chest, like in the pecs? Do you feel the warmth spreading into the top of your core? Continue breathing here for 10, 9, 8, 7. Really flex the fingers. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And allow the arms to drop. We'll shake once again. Looks kind of crazy, but it feels pretty good. And then on an inhale, we'll take the opposite arm on top this time and give ourselves a big hug once again. Breathe into the back here. And exhale. Inhale, hug the shoulders up towards the ears. And exhale, sigh. Let the shoulders drop. We'll take the arms out to either side and just do a couple fluid twisting motions here, coming onto the toe of the opposite foot. As we twist, slowly allowing these twists to build in speed, getting faster and faster, warming up the spine. You get a couple back pops here. Awesome. And then we'll inhale, take the hands overhead once again. And exhale, just tilt back, pressing forward with the hips, clenching or activating through the glutes. Then just tip back through your upper back. Taking a little back bend here. And slowly fold forward. Come into your forward fold. Sway a bit from side to side here. Maybe you interlace the fingers behind you at the low back and slowly pull those hands away from the back, feeling a deep stretch in the shoulders. Imagine as you're in this forward fold that there's a little trap door on the top of your head and it opens here. And all of your thoughts just go through that trap door, that drain, and into the earth. Taking deep breaths of clean air in and exhale to let go of your thoughts. Just slowly take the hands back to the low back. If you clasp them, unclasp them. Take the hands to the ground. And if you'd like to try a little crow pose play, you're welcome to. If you just don't feel the need to do that today, you can always just take a yogi squat. But if you want to play with crow pose, take the hands in front of you, shoulder width apart like you're gonna plank. Come up high onto the toes. Imagine that there's a line coming out from each of your thumbs, making kind of a triangle, and you're focusing on the point of that triangle, on the intersection of those lines. Take your knees and see if you can just press them on top of your arms, as close to your armpits as you can. Look in front of you and slowly rock weight into your hands, feeling the weight transfer from the bottom of the palms into the fingertips. And maybe you hug one foot up towards the butt. Maybe you hug the other foot up towards the butt. Maybe you're in a crow pose right now. Maybe you're just playing with the balance. Wherever you are, let's just take a few more breaths to try it. And whatever happens, we'll come to sit down on the butt. Your cross-legged seat. Hands on top of either thigh. And we'll just take one deep breath in. Acknowledge the moment. And a deep breath out to let it go. However you practice today was the perfect way to practice. Now, if you have any lotion at the ready or you don't want lotion, that's fine. We're just going to take the right foot into the palm, the top of the right foot into the fingertips. We're going to take the thumbs and just massage the arch of the foot of the right foot, just pressing the thumbs together into the center of the foot around. Or you can draw circles with the thumbs, or if you have a preferred way to massage your feet, go ahead and take that. We pressed our body pretty hard today. So it's important to take moments for just quiet, gentle self-care. There's many different ways to practice self-care. There's being self-aware and holding yourself to a high standard, but then there's also being able to take a break when you need a break. Maybe you pull on each one of your toes here. Maybe you massage the heel. Maybe you flip the foot over and just use the thumbs on the top of the foot. If you have socks here, maybe you put the sock on after massaging the foot. Just keep that warmth and circulation in the foot. Then we'll take the left foot in and do the same thing on the left side. Taking the top of the left foot in the fingers. Using the thumbs to slowly begin massaging the left foot. Taking a moment to give thanks for having your feet. For being able to move and breathe and practice yoga, regardless of your mood or your circumstances. Being thankful for what you do have in this moment. Massaging through the heel, pulling in each one of the toes. You can even pop your toes if you like doing that. Then we'll massage the ankles. Go on to the tops of the feet. And we'll just come into our cross-legged seat. Alternatively, you can go ahead and lay down on the back. You can take the soles of the feet together if you're laying on your back. Reclining butterfly pose. You can take a deep breath in here and out through the mouth. Inhaling. Exhaling. Whether you're laying on the ground or whether you're sitting up, maybe you take the right hand to the stomach and the left hand to the heart. Take a moment now to give thanks for just being alive, for just being here. Soften the tongue and the mouth. Soften the eyelids, the forehead, and the jaw. Feeling the breath pressing the belly into your hand. Feeling yourself growing heavier with every exhale. Breathing. Just existing. Just being. Notice the sounds around you. Notice the temperature of your breath. Notice if your body feels different than it did at the beginning of practice today. A few more breaths. Releasing any expression on the face, releasing any judgment of yourself or others or the moment. Then we'll slowly take the hands to either side of the legs. If you were laying down in this butterfly pose, draw the knees back together. Hugging the knees to the chest. If you were sitting up, maybe you begin to turn the head from side to side a couple times here. We'll take a deep breath in. No matter where you are, we'll stretch the hands overhead. And exhale if you were laying down. Make your way into your easy seat. We'll meet with hands at heart center, feeling the blood drain back into the body. Inhale. Exhale. Blink your eyes open. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.